let's talk about tiny houses for a moment. I think most people by now have heard something about them, but for those who don't know much about a tiny house yet, what is the premise? What are the main things to know about tiny houses and what to think about maybe before you buy a tiny house?
Cool. Yeah. So a tiny house is a structure that's typically under 400 square feet. The more famous ones are on wheels, so we call them THOWs, THOW, tiny houses on wheels, if you will. That's kind of the vernacular and the movement. And the main focus on them is people are wanting. I guess this is kind of the need behind it is that people are really looking at downsizing their living space and their environmental footprint, if you will. So they're more affordable. The ones on wheels are mobile, so you can park them up in different places. I think um, the biggest thing about this whole movement, beyond even tiny houses, because tiny houses are obviously on wheels, they're obviously a smaller structure, is that the ones that are being built right now and more prominent now are on RVIA certified code. And those are the ones that are more so legalized in Colorado, El Paso County, more specifically. And those ones are legal in some residential areas. They're legal in agricultural zoning areas, and then RV parks as well. And those are the ones that are probably the more popular ones. Now, there's can be tiny houses on permanent foundations. Those ones are a lot easier to regulate because they can't move. It's kind of hard to tax something that moves all the time. That's why there's so much buzz around, legalizing it or it being illegal. But so yeah, those are kind of the different stacks. They go, I mean, I always say just kind of the tiny living movement, just because, there's just so many different types. People are living in yurts. The van life movement is a big thing that most people don't really know much about. People are converting their own vans. There's companies focused on just converting people's vans for them, and people live in and out of them full time. And speaking of freelancing, they freelance their abilities, and they're just completely mobile. So I think the whole thing is just focused on getting your time back. Where does your time and where you put your energy and work, really, what does it really do for you? Is it really working towards a big old house that's 3,800 square feet that you only spend 8 hours a day in? Like, where is that money gonna go? What are you gonna do with it? Are you gonna get your time back? All those different things.